Day. I love it. I'm so excited. We are very, very excited to introduce you to Miss Desiree Phelps, and it's long, Director of Operational Strategy, Venues and Events for the Tampa Bay Suns Football Club. Tampa's latest and greatest, heavy on the greatest. Yes, sports organization to move to town. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You got it. And our behind the scenes guy has made it in front of the camera, Mr. Mateus, the lure of Mateus, in case anybody has got his vlogs located on our social feed. Super jazzed also to be on a soccer podcast today.
I am so excited to just dive into this and pick your brain a little bit. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's get to it.
We are going to get into some really fun, interesting experiences throughout your career. And to set the stage, Mateus, why does this matter to you?
Well, I'm originally
He's got roots here.
Yeah, so I'm originally from São Paulo, Brazil, and I actually have familiar roots when it comes to soccer. So my grandfather, you can Google him, Gilmar dos Santos Neves.
We're gonna need you to spell that.
Don't worry. So it's Gilmar, the Gilmar, and so he played with Pelé, obviously the great Pelé, and he won 2 World Cups with them in 1958 and 1962 for the Brazilian national team. So only goalie in history to ever win 2 World Cups. Now me, not quite the goalie that he was.
Don't let this athletic bill fool you.
No.
We are, yes.
but I'm the marketing goalie behind this. So
hey, I love it. Okay, so we have lots of questions and it's never enough time. But to kick us off, we always like to start with an icebreaker. Okay. You have held, and correct me if I get any of these things wrong, MLB spring training, operational event. There's another really important one in here too. Obviously, the Tampa Bay Sun. So along the way, living and breathing in sports organizations, was there ever a moment you realized this is more about the business than it is about the sports?
Yeah, I was a college cheerleader, so I always saw all of the sports that were happening at the school, right? And I knew that I was very passionate about sports, had been my entire life, and I realized, like, somebody has to make this all work, right? Like, who's making this run? Mm-hmm. And I started to look into our college athletic department, went to grad school, and decided that I loved being in college. I loved being a college cheerleader. I loved everything about being in school.
Where'd you go to school?
I did my undergraduate at Virginia Wesleyan University and my master's at Old Dominion University.
Nice.
So loved being in school. And I was like, how do I just be in school for the rest of my life, right? Like,
I love that.
So I went to grad school for higher education administration and educational leadership. And I wanted to work in a college athletic department so I could be a forever cheerleader and realized that I absolutely love working in sports. It's the bread and butter of, what makes everybody happy. Like there's not a person that's like, oh, I hate all sports, right? People usually have their preferred and their unpreferred. Most people don't love baseball like I do, but everybody has their preference, right? But sports is like a pretty great unifier. Even if you don't love the sport particularly, you can usually get on board with going and having drinks at the stadium.
Amen, right? I'm like, I love what you said about baseball. As someone who really enjoys going to the games and like drinking the beer, eating the hot dogs, don't ask me anything about it from television or any... I'm like, I'm out. I don't know. I'm just here for the vibes.
Yep.
So I feel like what you mentioned, and I just love this, like, what a great way to frame the career that you've experienced as, starting as a cheerleader for the team and still taking that same mindset to work. Mm-hmm. Because in every capacity of like building the business, building the operations, making sure it runs so that the sports team can like show up and do what we are expecting of them, right?
100%.
When you first entered that world, were there any big surprises that you thought, oh, I didn't know this is what I was getting into?
Yeah, I think people think sports just like happens, right? Like it just magically is there and the stage is set. And anybody who's done theater or like music concerts, anything like that, like there's a whole crew behind it.
Yep.
Podcasting, there's a whole crew behind all of this that you don't see that makes it all work. The stagehands, if you will. And like that's pretty much what we are. We're the stagehands. Once the gates open, people see that.
Yeah.
But people don't see the 7 a.m. start time and everything that goes into flipping a stadium, particularly in this case. But even in baseball days, like spring training, the games are at, usually at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's an early morning to set the stage for everybody, right? So I think people don't realize that there's a lot of work and time that goes into setting that stage.
Did you think you'd be in baseball forever?
I did. Baseball is my love, but I'm really, really happy that I've allowed myself to branch outside of baseball. I'm learning so much, and I'm the kind of person that I love to learn. I love to try new things. I love to, grow and level up. And being in a different sport has kind of, you keep the same pieces of basic knowledge, right? But I've learned a lot being in soccer. It's been really great, and soccer is the fastest growing sport in America right now.
Really?
Like it is absolutely the fastest growing sport.
Yeah, I thought it was pickleball.
Pickleball is probably a close second. But it is the fastest growing sport. It's obviously an amazing time with the World Cup coming here to the Americas. Super excited to see everybody really kind of catch on to the hype of soccer.
Yeah. It's definitely got a stranglehold on people here. And I love that you just, like, the cultural components too, I feel like, are commingled. Like, you can't really have one without the other. And I don't know that people really think about that. This is not on our question list. Sorry, but
you know what? It's true. Like if you notice events like the World Cup, like the Olympics, it's that type of event that brings everyone in the world watching the same thing together, no matter where you're from or who you are. Like you're all tuned in to support either your country or your favorite player's country, and you just have a good time.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, it's like this global camaraderie moment that I feel like we're having.
Absolutely.
And what a cool place for you to be in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's great.
Did you ever think that, when you got into sort of the ops side of the business, you would end up with a soccer club?
I didn't. I mean, I typically ran the business side. And actually, I met my husband both working in baseball. He ran the ops side.
Oh.
I ran the business side.
Sorry, the business. What did I say?
Yeah, you said the ops. So I do run the ops now.
Yeah.
So it's been great. It's been interesting. Before it was more like my role was more heavily focused on tickets, marketing, how do we get people in? And now my role is so focused on when people are in, what do they see, right? And it's been such a beautiful transformation because I get to set the stage of what people are seeing, right? I get to help curate that vibe that you want to have when you walk into our stadium. So it's been a really unique opportunity for me, and I'm just excited that I get to kind of build that from scratch here in Tampa with our first team. So,
and what a cool thing. So like, first time for you in soccer, first time for football club in Tampa, everyone's getting to know each other here, and you are, to your point, I mean, you're curating like the culture, the identity, the growth. You are literally paving the way to what we're experiencing now. And if you haven't gone to a game, which I haven't, by the way, it's on my list. I'm so excited.
I'll get you
yes.
tickets.
Okay. We heard it here first. Yeah.
Done.
Right. For sure. So how do you feel like the role as you've transitioned from business into ops, like day to day, how has that impacted your day to day? How has that changed, like how you tackle things? And like, what are you up to? What are you doing over there?
I think for the ops side, it's actually been such an awesome opportunity for me to use like my logical brain, right? Like I love puzzles and I love putting pieces together. I love creating systems. I'm one of those like clear bin girlies at home, super organized.
Yes.
And so how do I bring that to the business, right? So before it was like, okay, let's sell tickets. What promos work? Like, how do we get people in the gates, right? And now it's like, how do we be the most efficient we possibly can be so everybody else can be effective?
Yeah.
So us being able to put together processes and, as silly as it sounds, rules and regulations surrounding things allows the other departments to take like a mental load off and just be successful at what they're doing. So we actually are able to help make their jobs easier. And that's the thing I love the most about ops is creating those systems, getting those clear bins out and making everything organized, right? And putting things in a place that others can also use that system that we've created to be successful for themselves.
I love this analogy because I feel like, the clear bin system. In your past experiences and throughout your career, there was already bins with stuff in them.
Absolutely.
And now you have been able to, like, from the ground up, build this club and create the atmosphere from nothing. How has that been different?
Yeah, it's been completely different. So to your point about, like, did you think you'd always be in baseball? Yes, I did. But Major League Baseball is so, like, particular and structured, right? Like, they've been around for a really long time.
Yeah.
Their teams are very,
like
very
legacy.
productive, right? They're very productive. They're very, very protective of their brands, right? They know what they need to do, and they just, it's a system that works, right? There's very little room for creativity and very little room for error. Where here we have a lot more error because we don't have any system in place, right? Like, we're approaching new things all the time, but it's also so fun that you get to be creative, right? You get to have your creative side. We're, like, to your point, we're building these systems from nothing.
Right.
So it's, if you aren't a person that can take chaos and make order, it would probably be extraordinarily overwhelming.
Right.
But for me, it's been like almost a release and a joy. I love to be a creative person in my personal life. And so I've been able to kind of translate that over to the business side of things. Whereas before it was pretty, like, things were in place, right? Like, you just kind of keep it going and keep the system moving, oil it every once in a while, right? And now it's like, I get to be that creative person. And as simple as, like, looking in the back of house and seeing where the buses park and be like, can we do this more efficiently so we can get them out after the game quicker, right?
Do you feel like there was something in your past life that was broken that you're like, okay, I have a chance now to change it and I'm going to do it?
100%. Yeah. I'm probably a fixer extraordinaire.
Yeah.
In all the good ways and all the not good ways.
Examples for us? Like, maybe that you were like, this is happening immediately.
Fixers. I think for me, it's like when I see something that needs the attention.
Yeah.
I immediately, like, spring into action. I think I've, not to pat myself on the back.
We will, don't worry. Yeah, go ahead. Give us the example.
I love leadership, right? Like, it's cheesy, but cheerleaders they lead the crowd, right? My degrees are in educational leadership. I love, the concept of leading. And so I was always the kid that was like, oh, I'll be the note taker. I'll be the one that does the presentation in class, right? Like, I've always been like that. So I think now that, it's just when I see something, I can immediately just act.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the greatest part that I'm experiencing right now is, like, that's wanted, that's needed, and that's available, and gives me,
and especially in a field too, like in a sports organization where you have to be adaptable at literally any
100%.
time. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, as you were telling me, as we were just chit-chatting before the podcast, you play at Blake High School, and you have to find ways then to create this experience of a professional league between the shoulders of, the school's branding and experience. Right. So that in and of itself, there's all kinds of operational components and, even business needs.
100%.
Has there been any one thing or like an example that the location specific, like being in Tampa and being there, has thrown you that you're like, ooh, how do we get our arms around this?
Yeah. I think the prime example would be our stadium branding, right? We don't want to take that identity away from Blake High School, but we
Mhm.
also want to have our footprint there.
Yeah.
And we have a very finite section of time where we flip this stadium. So we start on a game day, which is a Saturday, obviously, no
Yep.
school in session. We start at 7 a.m. And our team turns it from Blake High School into the Tampa Bay Sun in our Riverfront Stadium. We have all day to get that set up and ready. The team starts coming in with their equipment and all of that about 1 o'clock. And then our gates open at 5:30. So we have a very short window of time
Yeah.
to turn everything. So when it came to stadium naming rights, field naming rights, any branding throughout the stadium, that's a huge consideration.
Right.
We have very little manpower and very few hours to like fully brand a stadium, right?
Mhm.
So we had to kind of think through how do we make this Blake High School's home, but also still show the Tampa Bay Sun. And I think that's where my past experience more on the business side and marketing and corporate partnerships really helped me be an effective operator to figure out how do we create this co-branded space that works for them, it works for us. People are starting to come to Blake events, their athletic events they have there, and see the Tampa Bay Sun and think that it's a Tampa Bay Sun event. Like, you have your good and
Yeah.
bad with that, right?
Totally.
But that's great. That means that we're doing a good job at creating a space that truly is a joint space for the both of us.
Yeah. Interesting dynamic. And that then you've been able to like really, you were telling me out there, like delegate to the teams so everybody feels very prepared on Saturday when they show up at 7 a.m. Then you got to spin it and people are coming in, whether you're ready or not.
Yeah.
Like they're showing up and players need a place to play.
Absolutely.
So, and as it is related to Tampa, because we do have so many amazing sports teams here, legacy teams, right? Like that have been around. Are you finding that that makes it easier to build a footprint, or you have to steal attention away because of it?
I think it has its positives and negatives, right? Like we obviously wanted to associate with the Champa Bay brand that everyone's like, oh, we're all winners here, Champa Bay. Like,
Yep.
how do we join that? And we did our first year. It was amazing. It
Yep.
was so wonderful. But then there are also the challenges that come with it, right? Our venue is not our permanent venue. It's not ours every day, all the time. So the challenges of figuring out over the course of time what we can do that makes it feel like our venue when we are there.
Mhm.
Little simple things like we had someone, a partner, say they wanted to put rally towels on the back of every chair. And I
Yeah.
was like, that would be amazing if the wind didn't blow.
Oh man.
We're an outside venue, right? But that's
Yeah.
something that they do with the Lightning. So the competition of the Tampa Bay Lightning, specifically an indoor venue, they have so many more opportunities than we do, right? So how do we then curate our experience as closely as we can to those championship teams of the
Yes.
Bucks and the Lightning, given the circumstances that we have, and given it's an outdoor venue, right? Totally different than an indoor venue sport.
Right. I mean, things you don't even consider until you lay the first towel down and it blows away, and you're like, no, someone get the towels.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you put the towels down, it's challenging because you don't know what the weather is. Point being, the experience in stadium has to be really strategically curated
Absolutely.
every time.
Yes.
Regardless of the day and the team, you really have to think through ops, business, and culture, and player, and onlooker, right? Like, that's a lot to coordinate all at one time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Before we run out of time, I want to ask you a couple things because women's sports have been growing like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is no exception, right? I think you mentioned obviously soccer, and so now it's one and the same. You are in a very high growth period. What do you think the next 5-10 years in women's soccer looks like if you had to predict?
I think it's just growing so much that there's going to be more and more opportunities. So the reason that the Super League was started here, the Gamebridge Super League, was established to provide more opportunities for women to play professional soccer here in America. So before we only had the NWSL, there were a certain number of teams. If you weren't on any of those teams and you wanted to continue to play and you were capable of playing professionally, you had to go internationally. We had players in Iceland, Turkey, I mean, literally everywhere, all over the world. And we wanted to be able to bring that home. So that was the purpose of the league starting and giving the same level of professionalism as the NWSL, being able to provide that for women to play here in America and be home. So we do have players who are originally from here. So we're being able to bring them home, bring opportunities to women. The growth in women's sports, like you said, is insane right now. I think women's sports is just being seen as sports, not women's.
Isn't that nice? Just to be seen as another sport and not someone special, right? Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we are special, right? But that said, sports is a primarily male-dominated industry.
Absolutely.
And as a woman business owner myself, who gets asked this question all the time, right? It's like an interesting one to navigate. There's never enough time.
It's never enough time.
But I'm going to ask you this because I want to know. What is the most loaded question you get about being a woman in sports? Like, just let us have it.
Yeah, I think the most loaded question is...
Do it. Tell us. What do you want to know?
Like, how do you keep up with the men? Like, it's gross, right? Like, I run circles. Thank you. Yeah. I have 2 kids at home, and I'm advancing my career, and I'm still me, and I still have my likes and dislikes, right? Like, women are so incredibly multi-talented.
Right.
And I think that's different than men. Men pretty much, like, they have their little box. They're willing to, like, have the things in that one box. And if they go to another box, they have to fully close one box. Women have it like all out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why you're seeing such success, especially with us in the Tampa Bay Sun. Our front office is mostly women, and we crush it.
Nice.
Okay, no shade to any man. We love
you.
Hating. Yeah, but like there's space for
but
us.
Like, let us go.
Yeah, there is absolutely space for us.
Yeah,
you guys are doing phenomenal.
Yes. All right, we've got some rapid fire questions for you.
Sure.
We're gonna hit. Ready? Game day. Are you actually watching a game, or are you working the whole time?
I'm working 99.999% of the time. Every once in a while, if I hear the crowd go crazy over something, I want to see, is it a goal? Is it a yellow card? What do we got going on here?
A little peek.
Love it. What's one skill someone must have if they want to survive the sports business?
Adaptability. It's absolutely going to change. The plans that you have are 100% going to change.
Yeah. Good one. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen happen behind the scenes on game day?
Craziest thing, probably, I don't know, we like to shotgun our sugar-free Red Bulls.
Gotta crank it up. That's awesome. What's something fans complain about until they understand how the business works?
Ooh, ticket pricing, to be honest. The whole system behind ticketing doesn't matter the platform. Like it all runs the same way. Ticketing is wild.
Yep. We could have a whole podcast about that.
We could.
If you could steal one idea from another sports league to grow women's soccer faster, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. I think letting women be, not influencers, but having influence. I think that's, you see men being able to have so much influence in the sports industry, even when they retire. Like, give that to women.
Love that. We're going to clip that one. Any advice? Last question for you. Any advice for someone looking to break into the front office of a sports organization?
I think it's having an open mind and being adaptable. The benefit of starting in baseball, minor league baseball, you wear literally every hat, you do every job. And people used to try to convince me that was a limitation because I wasn't disciplined in one area. It has absolutely strengthened my career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming,
Thank
Desiree. This has
you.
been
Thank you.
super fun.
Yeah.
You're right.
Whole
It is a
soccer squad.
wormhole.
Yeah, right?
So fast.
Yeah, I know. We love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe. Also, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.